Good morning. How is everyone? How are we doing? Did yesterday's stitches break you? I hope not. So today we're going to make a start on turtle. So here's my plan. I'm just going to lay it all out, okay? So the plan is I'm going to use this. I've got these 4 colors like this. These 2 are going to be for the shell, and these 2 are going to be for the actual turtle's flesh. I don't know why I said that. Skin, I suppose. So I'm thinking of doing this color for the turtle bits. Yeah, and then doing a split stitch so we can get the curve of these little arms here. And then I'm going to go back with this one and do some little spots just on the tips of his skin and on his neck right here. Okay, so that's them's 2. And I might go in with some darker spots as well with that color. So there's that. And then for this one, I'm going to tell you 2 plans because after doing all of that work yesterday, you might not want to do a lot of work today, which I totally understand. So here's the plan for this one. I've got the dark green for the shell, and then every other one I'm going to stitch the same dark green, and every other one I'm going to stitch this lighter green. And then on top of this, I'm going to use the fly stitch like we did here, but try and make it curved. So I'll come up on this side, come down on this side, and do a little tack in the middle to see if I can't make the outline like this. So it is going to be a lot of stitching for one day, which is why I'm doing it on Thursday. So you have the rest of the weekend to kind of, you know, get it done. But there's 2 ways for this one. If you're feeling a bit like, oh, I don't want to do any more details, then take whatever color you choose for the inside of your shell and make just really long satin stitches here. That would be the easy way. And then go back with the other one if you want to do the different like partitions of his shell. What we're going to do is we're going to stitch each of these little sections separately, and then we'll either do the fly stitch like I told you earlier, or we'll do like 2 strands and do like a really nice stem stitch to outline these around. So it's completely up to you however you feel like doing it, okay? I'm going to jump in and do this dark color. Thanks, Jessie, for putting all your hairs in there, just so I always have something to pick off. Just keeping me busy, right? So I'm going to jump in and do probably 2 or 3 strands, probably 3, and do each of these little sections, and then do little bits around, and then come back with this one and finish that up, and then we'll make a start on the split stitch for here. The only thing to kind of keep an eye on with the split stitch is you want to make it go the direction of the turtle's arms. So all your split stitches are going to be like this, following this arc. Arc. Yeah. They'll be like that. These ones here will be like this. Okay, the back ones are pretty easy because they're just the back. The tail, make a little curve for the tail. Okay. So that's kind of the outline. I thought I would just tell you all now, and then if you wanted to crack on, then you could exit this video and crack on. But if you wanted to stay, then you could stay, because I know this is going to be probably one of the most worked. Ooh, whoops. Sorry, this is probably going to be one of the most detailed and be one of the items that we stitch that has the most work. So I totally understand if you wanted to make it a little bit more simple, or if you wanted to go with even more details, which, believe it or not, you could do more details. What is happening with this? Huh. Interesting. Okay, so after all of that, 5 whole minutes of me just telling you what I'm gonna do and not showing you what I'm gonna do, let's get started. So I've got 3 strands, no number. It's just like a dark green. I haven't used it yet. It's a bit darker than the ones on the bottom. All right, I've got my knot. I'm gonna zoom it in, go over there, take one more drink of my tea. Thanks, Jamie T. She says it's all looking amazing so far. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like this is like one of the best ones yet. I don't know if there's any. If there's any truth to that. But I feel like it is. Okay, so with these, I tend to do a little like tucking stitch with them. So we'll go straight down the middle, and then all of these will be angled in like this. Same with these, one down the middle, and then each one will be angled out a little bit. So you'll have to tuck some of your stitches in to get that. Hi, George. To get that like stitch direction. God, this always happens every time because I always forget to cut that off. Oh well. So I chose a dark color for my shell. Obviously you could do, what's going on? Obviously you could do a lighter color if you wanted to, and then do the dark outline. You could also mix some colors in here if you wanted to. So if you wanted to do like 2 strands of something and 2 strands of something else, that could also look really cool. So I'm just doing this little one real quick. I can make a good start. Now, for those of you who've just joined, I've already explained in the beginning of the video how to make this a little bit easier if you just do not want to keep doing all these little sections. So this is where I'll start tucking. So you go not all the way to the end, just maybe like 3/4 of the way, or even 4/5 of the way. And you're just going to tuck some of those stitches in there. So that the tip where there's more space gets more stitched. And to be fair, all of the edges are going to be covered, so it's not really like that big of a deal if you're like, ugh, this is not neat and tidy, I don't like it. It's okay. That's pretty much it. Just stitch in and stitch in. How's everyone finding it so far? Are we doing okay? Well, Chelsea's just got out of bed and went to go to the front door. I hope no one's here. Millie says the sound of the stitching is so relaxing. It's going to put you to sleep, isn't it? Alice, at the beginning of the video, I explained a couple different ways that you can do it if you didn't want to do all of these details. So when it's finished, go to IGTV and then just rewatch the first 5 minutes. So far, it's just 3 strands. And I'm going to stitch each of these little sections. Veronica says loving it. I've just finished yesterday's coral. I did not finish that yet. I did some painting on the Middle Earth, like an underpainting. And then I packaged up some prints that people bought and some kits. And then I did one embroidery, which now needs to be sent today. And I have 2 other embroideries that I should be finishing today, but I'll probably end up doing more of that painting so it can be finished for Saturday. Now you can get a little lost, like the outlines can get a little lost in this, but don't worry, it's not a big deal at all. He's gonna look so cute when he's done. Oh, Megan says my 6-year wedding anniversary is on Sunday. Mine is on Saturday. Wow. Because we got married on a Friday. You must have gotten married on a Saturday. should go get like some champagne or something. But I'll just end up making David go do it. At like the start of lockdown, I bought him what's it called? Make your own whiskey set. So you buy the alcohol part, so you can get like just like a vodka, and then you add the wood to it, like the wood chips, and then you let that sit for like 4 weeks, and then you taste it and see if you like how it tastes, and then you add other things like cinnamon or cocoa beans, or Up North Stitching is my other account. That's okay. Yeah, so he did that and then kind of forgot about it a little bit. So we've just finished it like yesterday or the day before. So maybe he can drink his whiskey. I think we added like orange peel and chilies or something, and cocoa beans. And they like, both of them came out so different. So there's like 3 different kinds of wood chips and stuff. And then you like choose the one that like you like the idea of or taste of the best. We did a make your own gin as well for Carol, because Carol likes gin. Okay, let's see here. Oh, Megan says my husband will be fishing. Gives you some peace and quiet for the day. Maybe. Just doing a knot, and I'm going to cut the ends off this one. So I don't get the same thing happening again. Let's do one more stitch in here because it looks like I'm missing one. All right. I was thinking of doing these ones sideways like this, but I feel like they need to go the same shape of the turtle. Ooh, Hannah says I'm having my wedding dress try on Saturday. So scared and excited at the same time. Aw, that's so cute. Funny story, we were actually living in China when we got engaged. We got engaged at Niagara Falls when we came back for the summer. And we came back to England like April or May, and our wedding was July. And I still hadn't had a dress yet because we looked all over in China and they were like, "You're too big." And I'm like a size 12 bum and a size 8 top. So it's like, that's not even like, it wouldn't be like a plus size or anything like that. You know, it's just like I'm a regular. That sounds horrible. That's not what I mean. This looks weird. But yeah, but in China I was like overweight and plus size. And they said that, no, they didn't have any dresses that would fit me. So we came back to England. Actually, David had a job interview. So we came back to England and we tried dresses on, and we found a dress here in England. And and I bought it right off the rack. I bet you'll look amazing. The dress that I had in my head that I wanted was not the dress I ended up with at all. I ended up with exactly what I said I didn't want, which is hilarious. Okay, almost done with this. Oh dear. Veronica says, I was the same. I tried what I thought I wanted and I didn't like it. I think it's so funny because sometimes I just think because it's a wedding dress, it's like you really have to go with like what actually suits you and not necessarily in your head what you wanted, you know? Because I was like, I didn't want lace. I didn't want any kind of like beading or like sparkly bits. I wanted something a bit plain. What else did I say no to? Oh, I said I didn't want a strapless one. Ended up with a strapless one. They all look so different. Like when you try them on than they do on the rack. So definitely try on all of them, even if you're like, I do not like this. This is ugly. It's not going to suit me. Like try it on anyways, because actually it might be perfect. And my dress actually had like a high neck and little sleeves on it, like if this was like your shoulder, like this. They came down to like here. And I was like, I'm not trying the sleeves on. I'm shoving it all down. I just like the dress I saw on someone else. And I was like, if she's not going to buy that, can I try on? And the lady was like, yeah, but it's like everything you said you didn't want. Yeah, I think everyone needs to post pictures of their wedding dresses now. Because now I really want to see what everyone's looks like. Yeah, and I ended up with, it was like cream colored, like off-white, with like beads on it and different like lace and stuff. Sounds hideous. Okay, so I got this done so far. Normally I would go back and do these little guys all at once. But I'm going to leave it because that's pretty easy and like straightforward, you know? They're just little straight stitches. Hannah says, thanks for the advice. I'm so excited. Oh, I would be excited too. I actually did really like trying dresses on despite the not so great start I had in China, you know? Okay, so you're going to do that all the way around, and I did mine every other one, but obviously you could do them all the way around if you want. You could also do a split stitch all the way around if you wanted to just keep going around. But I'm going to take that off now and do the outline. Oh, that's so nice. Hannah said, I bet you looked gorgeous. I think there is a picture of me and David already on my Instagram. It's just like quite far back. Probably last year on our anniversary. There might be some on my personal account as well. Okay, so I'm going to take 2 strands of this one for the outline. I've got a smaller needle. Megan said, this community of people is so sweet, so encouraging. I can't wait to see everyone's turtles. Me too. Honestly, I feel like I have, like, I hate calling you guys followers, but like, I feel like I have the best followers out of everybody. Okay, so real quick, I think, there you go. So you can see all the little separations. You could do the little fly stitch in here if you wanted something cheap and cheerful. You're just gonna have to end up tacking it. So you'd go one on this way, one on this way, and then in the middle, tacking it like this. So you're just gonna end up with little tacks. Okay, so you just have to figure out, let's see if I can make it bigger, and then, so you just have to figure out where to start and stop each one so that you can get that shape. Yeah, so like on the side here, I said I was gonna do a stem stitch, didn't I? So you want it to be wherever the curve is. That's where you want to put your little tacking stitch. This is what I get for choosing long pieces of thread, so I don't have to keep redoing it. This is what I get. So guys, please be warned. It could happen to anyone when knots strike. Melanie says, we didn't have a wedding. We couldn't afford it. I was in college and he was new in the Navy. Do you know what? I don't think having a big wedding or having a wedding period is necessarily like, you know, the sticking point of whether your marriage is going to work or not. I think you do you. We had a really nice wedding. But we bought everything like secondhand or like on a budget, and it was really good. Yeah, so obviously if you wanted this to be a bit more curvy, then you're going to want to not pull them as tight as I've just done. Or you could just do the stem stitch around it, and you'll get a more like solid line, you know? I'm only using 2 strands for this one. And this one here, I think is gonna have two in there. One on this corner and one on the other corner. Because of the shape of it. And then these here will be straight. I just put it inside of there so that it can help to make that shape a little bit better. But obviously, like, do what you want to do. I think I probably would have preferred the stem stitch just because it will make it look a little bit more solid and, you know. But I don't hate it. And if you look at turtles' backs, they're not curved, are they? Like an actual turtle's back. But you can also do, like I'm using these little tacking stitches to make them a little bit more round, to make these shapes a bit more round. You can also just go in and just straight up tack them where you want them to be, meaning that you can almost use it as like a couching type thing. And I'll show you how to do that as well. You just stitched Jesse's hair into the turtle. Yeah, I feel like I do that a lot. It's just everywhere. Like I can't get away from it. Sorry guys, I needed a drink. Megan says, I'm forever picking cat hair out of my projects. Yeah, they're just in here. Okay? It's like the lovely bits. It makes it look nice. Okay? Okay, so what I mean by couching is normally when you couch, you have one piece of thread like this, and you take another piece of thread, so different, not this color or this needle, a whole different piece, and you make little tiny stitches over the top of this. So you put it where you want it to go. Okay? So that's what I mean by you could almost like fake couch it into place. So if I wanted this to be a little bit more curvy, I could just put these little tacking stitches in, and then they would just hold that into place wherever I wanted it to be. So that might really work as well. Now around the outside, obviously I can't do this little, technique. So around the outside, I'm definitely going to do a little stem stitch to show the outside of that with this color. Oh, you're kidding me. This little witch stitch says, I pick rabbit fur out of mine. That's cute. Yeah, so you could always stem stitch around the outside edge to really like make it a clear distinction. And it's all these little details that really like add up, I just took a drink of water, but I feel like I need another drink of water. Like every time I swallow, I feel like it's so loud. What's going on with me today? I didn't even have coffee this morning, so I can't even say that it's because, Okay, so you get the idea of that. I don't want to go all the way around because I still have to do... I guess I'll just do it. Just make it difficult for me later. So normally I like to save stem stitch for the end, so I wouldn't necessarily do this before I do the outside edge, because as I just said, and I'm going to have to butt all of my stitches up to this around the outside. And it's just easier to do those stitches first and then kind of cover up the bits that you don't, you know, that maybe you messed up on or like you don't necessarily want to see. You can cover it up with that stem stitch. Also, on the corners, make sure you're making your stitches a lot smaller. So I did mine the same amount all the way around, and this corner is now coming up like that. So you want to make around these corners here. I say corners, but they're not really corners. They're just tighter curves. You really want to make those stitches smaller because with the stem stitch, you'll be able to see where it didn't actually go all the way. But I'll show you just now how to fix that as well. So to fix that here, we're just gonna do a little another tacking stitch and tack that down in place. So you really won't see it very much as you step back from it. So let's flip it over. This might be a advanced day. Finish it, you know? I mean, to be fair, all the rest of it's pretty simple as far as like how to do it, you know? His little shell looks so small without the outside edge on it. Sorry, little guy. So we'll just show some of this. What is that? Some of the split stitch around for his little arm. I think it's because I'm having tea and it's got milk in it. That's why I think I'm so like, you know? So sorry. Next time I won't. I don't really like mouth noises, you know? Thanks, Melanie. She says it looks so good. So I've got like a more earthy color green for this one. This color. Or these are a bit more bright. You can also work this like the long and short one, like we did for this little plant, the pink one with the variegated thread. You can work it sideways or you can work it in a line. We're just trying to follow those guidelines around. I've got 3 strands of this one. Oh, the wind has picked up. The only thing to remember with this is that you want to go with the shape of the arm. So you will have some areas where some of them, they're not, if you work it in a line, you're not going to be able to get a whole line. You know, you're going to have to fill in that little area. So even with mine right here, I've got this little space that needs to be filled in, you know? So just keep that in mind when you're stitching and you're like, this doesn't work right. If I work it in a line, it doesn't work out in the end. It might not work out in the end. You might have to add some more little pieces on there. Little stitches. Stitch them into place. And then on this, I'll just add some little spots. If you saw in the drawing of the pattern, I have added some like dark spots and light spots. I'll show it to you in just a minute, because I've got my iPad right there. I think he's gonna look so cute. And for me, I was trying to get a different color for his skin than I was for the shell, just so that they have a bit of a distinction between the two of them, so it didn't just look like I've used the same color for all of it. I'm definitely gonna have to go back and tack these ones down as well, huh? So learn from my mistake and make your stem stitches smaller. There's the next door neighbor's dog, Maya. She's so cute. Okay, so there's that, his little arm. His little arm there. And then I'll go back later and add the little spots like I said. So for those, you could do French knots, or you could just straight up do some little straight stitches that are smaller. You know, so they're not like boom. So this right here is what the drawing was. So I'll probably end up doing these little guys here in his arm, right there. Maybe use the same color from the shell, this dark color, and do a couple little dark ones, and then do some light ones as well. And I think that will look, sorry, the skylight is reflecting. I think that would look really cool too. So that's kind of the reality and the vision, you know, like this is what we show on Instagram, and then this is what it really is. So hopefully by the end of this, it will be flopped around. And this right here will be better. So I'm gonna leave it like that for now. I might be back a bit later to continue working on it. What's today, Thursday? Yeah, I'll see what David's got going on, and if I can come back later tonight live and do a bit more stitching with you so that we can finish some of this up together, and add some spots and stuff. That might be quite nice. But yeah, have a lovely, lovely Thursday. I'm gonna go and see if I can sort out this painting, and then yeah, pack up some more orders and hopefully do some stitching in the afternoon. So Don't forget to go to the Barmy Fox SAL and leave some likes and comments on other people's work. That's so lovely when I go to like and comment and I see other people have already been there. I'm like, yes, you guys are the best. And don't forget, if you tag me in your stories to do at the Barmy Fox, make sure that there's that line underneath of there, or else I will not see it, and I can't repost it. So yeah, enjoy your day. I cannot wait to see your little turtles, and I'll talk with you later. All right, bye.